Hey everyone, welcome back to your podcast, our podcast, the Popular Side Podcast. As always, he's Yinka Yusuf.
Hello, people.
And I'm Akin Adeke.
We can fist bump now that we're
You know what I mean?
here
Like,
together.
so
Nice to see you, bro.
it's nice to see you too. This is different.
This is different.
Yeah.
This is different.
So we're in Lagos.
Yes, we're in Lagos.
Let's give a quick shout out to our hosts.
Yes.
So we're at Arrow House Sports in Lagos.
Yeah.
I think we did say on the last episode that we try to come together.
We did.
At least once.
Yes.
Now we can say we'll do it this
Twice.
week and we'll do it
And
next
we'll do
week.
it
as
next
well.
week.
Yeah. So again, we're recording on a Monday. This time is my fault. I've been traveling. I had weddings to attend.
Yeah.
Had
It's
an-
been having fun. Let's just call it what it is.
I had an event last night, which was great.
Akin, you've had multiple events over the past 3 days. Don't say you had an event.
You know?
You had a wedding.
Yes.
You had a lunch, a product launch yesterday.
Yes, we had a product launch yesterday.
What else are you up to?
I'm here now. You
Okay.
got all my attention,
I
for,
got
the
all
next,
your
for the
attention.
next 90 minutes
Okay, if you say so.
before I need to run off to do
Before you
something
need to
else.
Understood.
Okay,
Understood.
what's been happening to you?
But I've been okay. Same.
Yeah.
Work
Okay.
as usual,
Yeah.
and I had to do some nursing because someone had to go to some minor procedures in my family.
Okay. I hope they feel better.
Yeah, everything is good.
Okay.
Everything is good. We thank God.
All right.
That's good. Now that you're in Lagos, where did you watch the Arsenal match over the weekend?
I mean, do I have to answer that question?
No.
So full disclosure, I was in Ibadan, right, for that wedding.
Yes.
The game was on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unlike where I live, where they show you the game and then they're done,
Yeah.
apparently here, the game is on all day.
That's what it is.
So I tried not to watch it. Okay, I was at the reception while it was
Okay.
happening. I was following on Ars blog, and then a guy sits next to me in the last 8 minutes,
Yeah.
and he has it on his phone, but it's buffering like crazy.
If you had told me, I would have given you my login
I didn't
details.
want
You
it.
would have watched
I
it.
didn't want,
You would have watched
you
it.
know. So the thing is buffering like crazy, and I'm like, these guys are never going to score. This is insane, you know. And then the game ends.
Yeah.
My mood is spoiled.
Yeah.
You know, the women at the table were like, what is wrong with this guy? Because I'm just like, and then the Liverpool match, for whatever, they gave them like 89 extra minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Are you asking me when
what
is
is
this game?
happening?
When is this game going to end?
I know. So, but anyway, so I've been really, really upset since.
You should
what
listen
was
to
it?
me often. You
Yeah, I
should listen
know.
to me
I
more.
know.
Because I warned you about this.
I know.
And you didn't.
I
You
know.
just.
I
you.
do this to myself all the time.
No, it's fine.
You know,
It's
but
fine.
this is what I get.
It's fine. So,
Okay.
what do we have?
We
this
have
week?
a lot. We have a lot. So we're gonna keep the same, I guess, structure we've had for a few weeks now.
Works
We
for
do
me.
the wordy mentions, rapid fire,
Mm-hmm.
and then we do the league review and preview.
Works for me.
We did have a UCL thing. Everything just seems insignificant now that Arsenal isn't doing well. But we're gonna move on. Okay, so first, Manchester United. We have to talk about them.
Yeah.
Hurts my soul, but they won a game. But we're not gonna start.
We're not going to start
We're
with the
gonna
game.
start from there.
We'll start with.
Let's start with the nonsense that happened with Dan Ashworth, right? As Ashworth. Why is this important? This guy was on garden leave from Newcastle.
Yes.
And then there was some stories about he may have been working for Man U during his garden leave.
Yep.
You know, I told you I'm not familiar with garden leaves, right? This is a very like European
Yeah.
setup where
Yeah.
someone pays you to go away for
Yeah.
6 months.
Need to cool off. As they say.
It's amazing to me. That's half your year.
Yeah.
That would never happen where I live. You know what I mean? Like so this is like some shocking stuff for me. And then Ineos, their director, Sir, whatever the hell his name is, goes, oh, this guy's a 10 out of 10, you know, technical director. He's going to knock it out of the park. All the metaphors in one sentence, right?
Yep.
And then 5 months later, it's done. Show them out the door. Discuss.
What happened?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. Nobody knows. So this just contributes to the dysfunction we've been talking about at
Yeah,
United.
yeah.
They paid an arm and a leg to get this guy out of Newcastle.
Yeah.
Only for him to get to your end within 5 months. I understood he was part of the Amorim hire and stuff. And then all of a sudden, 5 months later, the guy is asked to leave. Well, that's the story. We don't know what really happened.
Yeah, we don't know what happened. Yeah.
That is asked to leave. And funny enough, there's an opening at Arsenal that rumors are now saying his name is in the hat.
He has a relationship with Richard. What is it?
Which of them?
We have two Richards?
Yeah.
Okay, the lawyer one. the one that came from my old law firm.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
He has a relationship. He has a prior relationship. So I could see that happening.
But I understand, Arteta also has his own favorites. So
yes.
Olabe from...
Alabe from
Sociedad.
Sociedad, yeah. But there's a quick one, though, on the guy's reputation.
Yes.
Right? So he kind of burnished his reputation at Brighton, right?
Yeah.
But now Sunday morning quarterbacking, right? No, see, all these experts, they didn't say this while he was there.
Yeah.
They didn't say it while it was at Newcastle. They didn't say it while it was being chased.
Yeah.
At
By
Man U.
United.
But now all the
All
sources
of a
are
sudden,
coming
that is out.
right?
Now
And what
all
are they
this is coming
saying,
out.
Inka? They're saying that it was really the owner of Brighton that had the connects. That was the owner of Brighton that knew, good scouting. And they give you an example. Okay, Gyökeres. This guy shipped Gyökeres to Coventry for like £1 million.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
he thought he wouldn't make it in England,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if you're thinking he has all this, this track record at Brighton, he also has the Gyökeres thing on his head.
Wow.
And apparently, and since he's left, Brighton have done okay. Last
yeah.
year was a little dip, but
Yeah.
they sold a lot of players last year.
And they're still getting good talent.
And now they're good. And they just replaced them without thinking.
Wow.
So could it be that he built a machine that works without him? Or are the new experts right that it's really the owner? I don't know.
I see.
So there is that.
But all in all, it just contributes to the madness going on for United.
Yeah.
Both on and off the pitch. The only good thing going on for them right now is, I think, like we said last week, I think they have a good coach.
We love the coach.
We love the coach. And he'll come out good.
Yeah.
But with all this distraction, all this dysfunction surrounding him, it might be too much distraction. Yeah. But yeah, good luck to United. I think they had a good win over the weekend.
Yeah, which
we will talk about
we'll
later.
get to.
But let's move on to the next topic.
All right. So the financial hearing with City is finally done.
Yes.
To be honest, it's hard for me to just even feign any kind of interest in this stuff. You seem to be interested in it, so you want to talk about it?
So here's the thing: is this just a coincidence, or City messing up on the pitch seemed to start when this hearing started?
That's fair.
So is there something that the players know, that the team knows, that Guardiola knows, that we don't know? Because I can't explain what is happening to City. They've only won 1 in 11 games.
Yeah.
If someone told you a year ago that City will go 12 games with only 1 win, right, you will smack the person.
They didn't even do it on the other coaches.
On the other coaches.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is why we're not gambling men and stuff. If someone put money on City losing 11 games out of 12, that guy would be a billionaire right now because the odds will be so crazy. Do you understand? So I'm wondering, is there a link between, that hearing and what's going on? Because the hearing started that Guardiola signed a 2-year contract, which was odd.
Yeah, we were skeptical when that happened, right?
It was odd.
Yeah.
So a lot of odd things are going on. And the body language of the players it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's like somebody turned off a switch. Everybody just seems flat.
Yeah.
Everybody.
At the same time.
Yeah. Something is off.
That's hard to do. So, okay. So I try not to get into conspiracy theories.
Please. I know
Okay.
I love
I know.
conspiracy
You
theories.
love yourself a conspiracy theory. That's not really my ministry. So let's say that's plausible. Because, it must affect you. Like, it would be like if your employers announce, a bad, I don't know, fourth quarter result or whatever in the real world, right? And there's rumors of, downsizing coming or whatever.
Yep.
That's probably not when you do your best work.
Yeah.
I mean, as a human, let's just call it what it is, right? That's when you're looking for a job. That's when you're dusting up your CV and calling up your contacts or whatnot, right? So yeah, it is possible, right?
It is.
That could be happening. But for me, I think there's a technical reason, which, I've talked about on previous episodes, right? I think there's a technical reason.
Yeah.
Like I said before, Guardiola is a genius because he does things his own way.
Yeah.
Because he does things with players that other people don't see superstar potential in. I will keep going back to my prime example,
Bernardo Silva.
Yeah. I mean,
there are many.
There's so many. But there's few that reach the height of a Bernardo Silva.
Yeah.
He likes players that I will call connectors.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily, if you put them in a team where they're the best player and there's 10 average players around them, they don't really elevate the other 10, but they're connectors because they listen, they train hard, they're in great shape. But they're not the best physically. Silva is small. Now that Rodri's out and he's had to play that double pivot, 1.5 pivot, whatever it is, sometimes he doesn't have the strength to do it. It's not the fastest, not the quickest. There's no measurable where he's top notch. Except upstairs. So all these players are just really, really, really smart players. And then you back that up with more smart players on the bench that you bought for like £1 billion. That's the Pep, that's the Pep formula. That's the Pep math. Right? So people will say, oh, yeah, but they got other people back from injury now. Yeah, but when you get back from injury, it takes a while. It
takes a while to get the fun back.
You know what I mean? And then
it takes a while.
all the connectivity you missed while you were out, you don't just get that back. You're not Messi or Ronaldo. These aren't, so I think that's what's happening. I think, we always had an issue with Holland. Like, he can score with the best of them, but he needs service. Everything needs to be connected. Everything needs, and Pep is a machine. But when the machine is broken down, you get this disjointed stuff, and sometimes you just have bad luck. So.
Anyway, we'll come back to Pep later on because
yes, we
need
will
to talk about whether or not his job is safe. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
So next, Yinka, we have another Yinka special. You are a LA Lakers fan.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about whatever it is that is happening with LeBron James?
So, after, was it the game I can't remember the away game. So they went on the road for a while. I think that is 6-game road trip. And
there must have been something happening at whatever the Staples Center is called these days.
I think it was maybe it was a show or whatever. So they had a 6-7 game road trip, and game 2 or 3 into the road trip, LeBron just takes leave of absence and he disappeared for a while.
Wow.
This would have been a lot more if he didn't play yesterday, but he played yesterday. And they played at home, so they're back at home. The first game back against Ja Morant and the Grizzlies. He played, it was okay. But something is off. It's unusual for LeBron to just dash off after having 2 major losses. I think they lost by 41 in the first game and by 39 in the next game. I think it was away to Minnesota and away to Heat. I'm ad-libbing here. I don't have the facts. But he just took off. And people were wondering, where's Bron? He wasn't injured. They just said he took time off for some personal reasons. What's the personal reason? No one knows. Yeah? And the way I see it, JJ Redick is his hire. Is not what's the name? Genie Boss.
Yeah.
Is not what's the name of their general manager? Kobe's former agent. It's not his hire. This is Bron that said, you know what? I want JJ. Imagine, it's just like you and I, we're co-host on a podcast, right? And there's a job, I need a lawyer in my firm, and I'm like, that's my guy.
I mean,
it's exactly what
I'm just kidding.
It's exactly what happened. And although JJ started, you know what I say, the initial IGG, everybody was like, JJ,
I wasn't, but go on.
Yeah, then the losses started reeling in. Now they're like in 8th position in the East. I mean, in the West.
Yeah.
So JJ's has been having it rough, and Bron has been playing crap, frankly.
For him.
For his level, yeah.
It's still a top.
It still had 16, 7 or 7.
Yeah, it's still a top player.
Which is still, it's still a top player. But for someone his age, I just looked at it, I thought, maybe Father Time is catching up with this guy, right? He is the only person that has lasted this long with Father Time in a boxing, in a bout, if you get what I mean. Father Time caught up with Kobe, Vince, way earlier, right? And I said this a while back, and I'm going to repeat it again. Bron needs to manage the rest of his career properly. You can't be pounding the ball like you're 16, 17.
But you're telling him to reverse or change the one thing he's been doing for what now?
But 21
years.
This is how you evolve. You know. So someone said he might be thinking of playing with Bryce, the younger one.
Oh God, please stop. Just make it stop right now. Make it go away. I can't take another.
I agree with you. I think that's the stretch. But if you're gonna do that, Bryce is, I don't know, 14.
It's really good though.
He's better than Bronny.
Yes, it's really good.
He's better than Bronny.
But
at the age, is better than Bronny.
It's bigger, it's stronger.
It's bigger.
But it needs to stop. This is crazy.
I agree it is.
Yeah.
But if he wants to,
yeah,
then you need to just stay in the post. You need to stay in the post. You can't be pounding, playing what do you call it, cocaine basketball, running up and down. Hell no. You need to stay in the post.
But he thinks he's invincible.
Father Time will knock you out.
So I think the problem with LeBron is it still looks exactly the same. It probably looks more jacked now.
A bit of white hair.
Yeah, but it looks even more jacked than it was maybe 10 years ago.
Then go in the post.
I know, but
just go in the post and orchestrate from the post. Look at Joker. Joker doesn't just get him the ball at the horn, stay there and walk around that. You're a good passer. So there's a triple threat going on there. You're a good passer, you can attack and you can shoot. Use it. Stop running up and down as if you're a teenager.
So I'm going to say something that may be controversial. But so let me be careful how I say this. LeBron can be fake sometimes, right? He can put on for the crowd, right? So, and the problem with someone like Joker, for example, right? He is who he is. He can't run, right? He's gonna like waddle.
Yeah.
And that's what he does.
Yeah.
Right? But LeBron is very performative.
Yeah.
In his
and
stuff.
he has stat sheets in his head when he's playing.
Yeah. So he's gonna keep doing the performative stuff. You want this man to go be in the post and then just pass out of the post like Karl Malone or Chris Webber. That's never gonna be him. He's gonna do that performative stuff. He's always gonna do that.
Yeah.
So but anyway, that's what I think.
Anyway, so this was supposed to be a bigger thing if he didn't play yesterday, but now he's played. Now we know where he is. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with him.
But there may have been something personal.
Yeah,
it's possible. There may have been something personal. You never know. I mean, athletes are humans too.
I know. I agree.
All right.
Cool.
So, let's stay in basketball.
Yes.
But this time, women's basketball.
Yep.
The WNBA.
Yep.
Congratulations to Caitlin Clark. She was the athlete of the year. And everyone was happy about it and lived happily ever after. No. No. Okay, this was the most, we've done so many bizarre, ridiculous Caitlin Clark stories.
Takes.
For there shouldn't even be sides to this, but on both sides of the Caitlin Clark, divide. This is the worst.
So which is the
Okay,
worst? Because there are two questions kind of in there. And let me throw one at you first.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me lay out which is the worst. So,
go ahead.
She was named the athlete of the year.
Yes, by time. Yeah.
This should have been an honor, right? Instead, someone mouths off and says all of the WNBA should have been on the time, whatever, profile. And of course, we go back to the black-white divide thing.
Yeah.
And then she felt, okay, I don't want to say she felt compelled, but she did big up, black women and said she stands on their shoulders and all that.
Yeah.
People who came before. Good for her to say it. I trust that she truly believes that. I would remind her that she also stands on the shoulders of many, many, many great white female players.
Absolutely.
But she's right. The league is predominantly black. And of the great players, the list is predominantly black.
Yeah.
So, and she must have been hearing some things in the locker room.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she said that. It's amazing. I hope it's not performative. I hope she really, truly believes that. But for people to come out and say she should not receive an honor or she should not accept it, that is crazy. Okay, please.
So, first question to you.
Okay.
Do you think she deserves the Athlete of the Year?
She was the most remember, this is an American
and it's
magazine,
time.
right?
So, guys,
this is an
first things
American.
First, it is, exactly.
And the number one rule in America is everything American is the best. It's the best that ever lived. That when they say the greatest player, they don't even think about other countries.
Absolutely.
So yes, she was the most influential American athlete in the calendar year that we're in. Absolutely.
So you agree?
I do agree.
We're in the same boat then, right? Because initially, when I had to go look at what's the requirement to start with, right?
You're too academic with this stuff.
No. But when I went through, I was like, you have to give it to her, yeah. And a lot of people kind of be like, why is she the Athlete of the Year? I'm like, guys, just stop.
Yeah.
Stop. It's not a big. It's a big deal, and it's not a big deal. Yeah. The numbers that came with her in the league, it's obvious. It's
ridiculous.
It's not as if I'm doing adverts, then my sales went up, and I'm wondering, is it really the adverts?
Is it a product?
Is it the product? This is obvious. It's her.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with her being Athlete of the Year. Now, I also don't have a problem with what she said.
No. It was more the pushback from the other people. Yeah, what she said was fine. That's what you should say. She was being gracious.
She was being gracious, right? But right now, it seems as if there are people that came into WNBA basketball not as basketball fans.
Yeah.
They came in because they were sick and tired of the majority of the WNBA, the constitution of the WNBA, in terms of they are largely black women, and they are, quite frankly, significant gay women.
Yeah.
Yeah?
We talked about this. Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, there's a white straight girl who's better than all of y'all.
She's not, but yeah.
That's their perspective. And that's why they're involved. But right now that she has said, you know what, I'm not your knight in shiny. I actually rock with these ladies. They're looking at her and they're like, oh, you sell out.
Plus, they're saying she was forced to say it. Not because someone
forced.
was strangling her while she was saying it, but if she didn't, then she would be cancelled. So that's the narrative now.
It's ridiculous. Actually, you walk into the locker room in Fever.
Yeah.
How many blacks are in that team? Probably 80%.
Yeah, that's how
if not more.
That's how it is.
So you think she would say something different, and she will walk into the locker room?
I mean, yeah, it's.
I don't know how people think.
It's a little crazy. So the context here, in my opinion, is the U.S. has just had I don't want to be hyperbolic and say the worst election season ever, but the worst election season ever, where everything was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In so many different ways, which we don't have time to get into. So okay. Nigeria is very religious, right? The U.S. increasingly has become less so, right? The U.S. is still a way more religious country among OECD countries or rich countries or rich Western countries. But by U.S. standards, the U.S. has become way less religious, right? I think something like a quarter of the U.S. now identify as atheists is the highest ever. It wouldn't be impressive in Iceland, but in the U.S. is very impressive because people are deeply religious in the U.S.
Yeah.
So there's a theory that people have replaced religion and church going, you know, with political religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, the parties used to just be parties. Now they're a reflection of
something
everything. You know, you can't date someone. So we've gone from you can't date someone from a different religion.
So you can't date someone from a different party.
Who, and it kind of course, it started with Trump. Everything bad starts with him. So it started with, you know, Trump.
Yeah.
How dare you vote for Trump? And it was very generational. You know, a lot of people who voted for Trump the first time, they were white and they were old, right? And now there's a few more, not way more. I don't want to be, again, I don't want to go overboard with it. It's still mostly white. It's still mostly old. But that's who votes. Young people don't vote. They just bitch about everything. You know, like
on social media.
Yeah,
it's not a real place.
It's not a real place. You know, in the real place, old people will their asses off and they vote.
Yeah.
And, you know, young people talk on social media.
Yeah.
You know, so, but anyway, so it's become a religion. So, and if you're white, I remember where she's from. She's from Iowa. Yeah. You know, she's not from New York. She's not from Maine. You know, she's from Iowa, cornfields and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know, she's homebred, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Good old girl. And she's now exhibiting like cosmopolitan values that may not play very well at home. So
wow.
that's
I feel for her though. All this whole stuff that's happening is none of her fault.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that people have kind of, I don't want to use the word weaponized, but
they have weaponized it.
But that's what it is.
You know, but she's not the best player in the WNBA, even though we love her.
Yep.
She may well become one even next year. She may be a year away.
Yep.
She may be a year away, right?
Yep.
But she's probably in the top 5, 6 now.
Yeah, I'll say so.
Comfortably.
Yeah.
Right?
I think she's top 5.
She might be top 5 right now. And that's amazing in your rookie year.
In a rookie year. So. Looking at the group of guards in the WNBA, she's arguably number 1.
She might be number 1. At least the second half of the WNBA season.
Exactly.
First half was a little rough with the turnovers and stuff.
Yeah. But she's not, guys, she's great. Yeah. CP3, still the best rookie ever in the NBA.
Yeah. No,
it's
you're right.
Not even close. Not even close, but that's another argument for another day.
But she's amazing. And she's amazing. The influence she had, she took a whole sport and I can't even say doubled viewership. Like, I don't know what the numbers are.
So let's see what happens in season 2.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are hurt by what she said and they might just tune off.
And it's the people that rushed into, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway
we'll see how it goes.
All right. So I guess we have to talk about the games that happened over the past
Let's start
week.
with the UCL before we head on into the league wrap-ups.
Champions League. So I started traveling on Tuesday.
Yes.
So I've been like catching what I can, not really sitting down to watch stuff. What stood out to you in the Champions League? I think I know what you're going to say, but but what stood out to you in the Champions League? You can start with the table, which we'll never get used to, just saying like one giant table of 8 million teams. Or you can start with a particular team. We'll leave that open.
So, as you were traveling, I was also nursing.
Oh, yeah.
If you get what I mean. So I didn't catch much of the games, but a couple stood out for me. The Real Madrid-Atlanta game was a beautiful game.
How did our boy do? Did he play?
He played and he scored. He scored the second goal and he had an almost assist. Last minute, leg over, flashed the ball with his left leg, and the striker, Retegi, goal is in front of the goal. The keeper is already beaten. Slammed the ball, but slammed it over the bar.
Ouch.
It should have ended 3-3. But it was a good game. It was a great game. He played well. I think his African Footballer of the Year is certified right now, unless CAF wants to. I want to say this in Yoruba, but unless they want to show buruku. If they don't give that young man African Footballer of the Year,
my gosh.
We're gonna have a problem. I think it's bang on African Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
Great game. Mbappe scored a great goal. Vinny didn't start. He came on the second half. He scored. Then Bellingham also scored. So Madrid, great game, and they won deservedly. Okay. Then the other game will be Liverpool away to Girona. Liverpool won again.
Yeah.
Liverpool are finding ways to get stuff done.
For now.
If you say so.
Calm down.
Okay. So those were the Tuesday games. Bayern won away to Shakhtar.
Yeah. Stay of execution on our brother.
Stay of execution on our brother, which is good. Which other game? Dortmund Barcelona was another crazy game.
Their matchups are always just.
It was a ridiculous game. It was back and forth, but Barca eventually won 3-2.
For me, it's like big bro, little bro.
Yeah.
Every time. I mean, yeah. So.
Then the one that shocked me the most, right, was the Juve Man City game. Given the fact that Juve were missing.
Yeah.
So Vlahovic is back, but they've missed the striker for a while. I think this was his first game back in a long time. City just looked blunt. I don't know. They looked
not for the first time recently.
Not for the first time.
Yeah.
And Juve scored 2 solid goals, and Juve beat them 2-0. City didn't score a goal. Yeah. And this is Juve that on the table they're not. They're 14th in the table, right? So right now, Man City is 22nd on the table.
Out of what, 30?
Out of 36, right?
It's not terrible.
So 16, I think it's 9 to 24 playoffs. They're 22nd with 8 points. City has 8 points in 6 games.
Wow.
Liverpool, on the other hand, they've won all their games. They're top with 18 points.
18 points, yeah.
Right? Arsenal is 3rd. Barcelona is 2nd. Right? Now, City need to be careful. If they don't turn this around, Aki, dare we say?
Okay.
Dare we say?
Great segue to the next topic.
Hey.
Which is, we kind of premiered this, last episode?
Last episode.
Our new Safe or Not Safe segment. Pep Guardiola edition. Version 2.0, because we did Pep last week.
We snuck him in last week.
Yeah, but we got to talk about it again.
And
again, I say, no one in that building is going to fire Pep. Because he didn't suddenly forget how to coach.
Yeah.
But will Pep fire himself? Will Pep leave? I just don't see Pep as a Arsene Wenger. I don't see Pep as someone who would just, hang on to the fin forever.
Yeah.
And is not going to be short of suitors.
Yeah.
Of people who want him to come rescue their club, or who will give him everything City have given him. And now it's a more even playing field now that you can't cheat as blatantly, as you could before. So he'll take a more traditional job. Why not? He's still young enough. So I will say, safe or not safe, I would say it depends. I would say at this point, I think last week I said safe. It will be his decision. I think I will still say safe, but it will be his decision. What say you?
So there are 2 more games left in the Champions League group stage before the playoffs. Their next game, they're away to PSG.
Yeah, that's the big one now.
And the last one, they are home to, who are they home to? I think they're home to Club Brugge. So I think that should be.
But PSG and City, they both need that game, Yinka.
Yeah.
They both need that game.
Yeah.
So
there's a.
And then you have the Pep and what's his name rivalry
with Luis Enrique.
With Pep, Luis Enrique. Frenemy.
Yeah.
Mentor, mentee-ish.
Yeah.
And PSG don't have the players right now that City have. They haven't been great in the Champions League. They've had a little wobble as well in the league, for their by their standards, for them. I don't know. I'm not sure City goes to Paris and wins that game. I mean, can you really say that? When is the game? I guess
it's
that
next
matters.
week.
I'm not seeing it. Are you saying it?
Right now, no.
Yeah.
So when we say safe or not safe, this is where I'm coming from. I don't know.
Okay, so
is it last week and this week?
Let me ask
I said safe last week.
Yeah. Do you see anyone in the City hierarchy having the gall to call Pep Guardiola and say you're out of a job.
Okay, if you put it that way. But these are guys that money is nothing to them.
But it's not about money. It's about, it's Pep Guardiola, all the stuff he's done. I mean, he's done unprecedented things. And then the first time he has a wobble, this is literally the first time.
Yeah.
It's not an annual thing for him.
Yeah.
This is quite literally the first time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, look, there's always technical reasons why things happen in this game, right? For me, I don't know why they did it, but they missed 2 windows, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like transfer windows, right? Some of their buys. No, this is.
This is similar to what he's always done, right? If you think about it,
yes.
Even when maybe he splashed a bit when it comes to wingers. Talk of Riyad Mahrez, talk of Jack Grealish, but Doku was there for anybody to buy. Savinho was there for anybody to buy, but Savinho and Doku they've not replicated what Riyad Mahrez, for example, did for City.
Okay.
And that is where the output from those two is suffering. Maybe it's because they don't have the support. They don't have the KDB behind them. He's been injured. Foden is off form. Maybe that's the reason those guys have not really, delivered. I don't know. But City don't look like City.
They don't. But I don't think they've refreshed their spine. They got wingers.
Yeah.
That's not the spine of the team, right? Gundogan is older.
Yeah.
Had a okay season last year.
Yeah.
Right? They picked him up for free.
Yeah.
They got him. But when was the last time they got a central midfielder of any serious,
So all of us were raving about Nunes, but they got Nunes and they stuck Nunes on the bench.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, Nunes is playing now, but it's the same thing. Nunes is off form.
Yeah.
He's not, do you understand? So I think you're right to some extent. Yeah? The people that they've bought in the past 2-3 windows have not really panned out as well. Yeah? And it hurts also when you're missing Rodri, who's your glue.
So I think we can finally say this is not a Rodri slump.
Can we?
Oh, yes, we can. Oh, you know why?
Why?
Okay, look at everyone's form last year.
Yeah.
Look at their form this year.
Maybe Rodri's why they're all... Maybe Rodri's the reason.
No, nobody is that important.
Okay.
No, hold on. No human who ever played football in the history of humans and football is that important. Stop it. Don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Okay. But there's always a first time for everything.
Inka, you got your Ballon d'Or. What else do you want? You got your Ballon d'Or. This guy's not God. Let it go.
There's always a first time. There's always a first time.
Nobody's that important.
So here's the thing. Right? The way they play, that guy alone could play 2 people's role at that pivot. It could play so well that it gave every other person, just do your barest minimum and you all will be fine.
Okay. But when Kovacic was holding it together, they were still playing well.
But
they were not fantastic.
They were not fantastic, but they were.
And KDB wasn't there.
I hear you.
KDB wasn't there.
Yeah.
So for me, I think there's a hole there, right?
Yeah.
But there's no replacement level central defensive midfielder.
I think it's both ways. So I hear you.
Yeah,
so the role and the talent. So the role is important, and the talent also is important.
Yeah.
The importance of the role was obvious when Kovacic came. Kovacic played it well, but not
interpreted it differently.
Not up to the Rodri level.
Yeah, of course.
But now that Kovacic got injured, it was so glaring that their defense was so open and their offense didn't really tick because they didn't have that person that could just, I'm not interested in playing, just collect the ball, dish, collect the ball, dish, break play, collect the ball, dish, and let every other person, and they give every other person that comfort that don't worry, this guy is there. Yeah. And if you're 6'2", his height and his build, he's a bully. He's a bully that can play, can really, really play. So maybe... Man, this is crazy. I can't believe we're saying this about City, man.
I know, but again, see, sometimes the same thing that saves you is also what's going to kill you, right?
Yeah.
So Pep's brilliance and tenacity and all that is why they got to where they got to.
Yeah.
But this man is stubborn,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm looking at that squad right now, and I'm like, have you tried John Stones, who I do not like? But have you tried him in that role before giving up? You haven't. You'd rather have Bernardo Silva. You'd rather have Gundogan, who no longer has the legs. This man has the physique. He's supposed to be like he's trying to convert himself into a defensive midfielder, whatever. Have you tried Diaz? When they bought him, they told us he could play CDM.
Or even Vadio, or even the Luis that small. Although he's small, Luis can play in there. But you see, Pep is stubborn.
But stubborn. His little bro is the same way. Arteta is the same way.
Yeah, they're both stubborn.
When Arteta has an injury,
yeah,
instead of him to just do a like-for-like replacement, he'll make 2 other changes and mess everything up. And what I mean is, you have a right back injured or suspended or surgery or whatever. Instead of you to just play, a lesser known, lesser heralded right back, you play Partey there. You move your Rodri to right back.
But it's that way you realize ingenuity, if you get what I mean.
But it's not working. It hasn't worked in like 5 or 6 games where they've won some games, but it hasn't looked pretty. It hasn't worked.
But anyway, we'll talk about the United and the Manchester derby. Yeah, talk about it shortly. But they played better than United. United just did.
No, they
smash
controlled
and
the
grab.
game for what was it, 80 whatever minutes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
They just smashed and grabbed and move on. Anyway. For me, I don't know whether Pep is safe or not. You put it perfectly. You said you don't think that the hierarchy at City, they have the guts to say, dude, you're fired. And I think that I'll leave it at that. I think you're right.
I think he'll leave.
Worst case, he'll leave.
I think he'll leave. I think he'll leave.
Worst case,
he may even leave at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And just
that year extension is just a good excuse for a great handshake.
No,
they'll give him a good handshake as he's leaving. And anyway,
okay, so
we're
gonna go to our league wrap up now.
Yeah.
We have a few topics. We're gonna do this like we've been doing it the last few weeks instead of just recapping the game. Somebody scored, the blah blah blah. We'll just talk about some topics.
Works for me.
First one is Arsenal.
Yep.
Yinka, is Arteta the manager to see Arsenal to the promised land?
Now, this question came because after the game on Saturday, on social media, Arteta out started trending.
Of course it did.
And this is always the stuff. This is what happens every time there's a blip.
Yeah.
And I'm getting tired of this. Yeah? People are you watch one game. So the Monaco game over the weekend, during the week, Arsenal played rubbish. But they won.
And they could have won by more.
Nobody said Arteta out.
Yeah.
And I had an issue with that game, right? The Everton game was a better game than the Monaco game.
Yeah.
But nobody came out to start shouting Arteta out. I'm like, most of the Arsenal fans these days are kind of selfish. All they think about is themselves. I'm serious. Because they want to get into discussion with their friends. Bro. Exactly. And they want to be the one dishing the banter and not receiving it. So the focus is nobody looks at the game that was played anymore. Everybody just wants 3 points. I want to make jest of my friends. I don't want them to make jest of me. And I'm too old for that. I've moved beyond. We have a troll on our group that is always doing this, and I'm like, come on, grow up.
No, you can't.
This guy only comes up when Arsenal loses or something happens. He's literally quiet when any other thing. Once Arsenal lose, he'll come out and he's all happy and joyous. I'm like, what is this? Is this your fix or what exactly is going on here? Right?
So there's a part of me that actually respects the hate. I mean, I don't like, it's like, you're going to tell me now that Chelsea are playing well. I don't see it.
But they're getting the points. Yeah.
That's hate.
They're getting the
because
point.
they're obviously playing well. But I choose not to see it. That's hate.
They are playing well.
You know what I mean?
They are playing
well. And I like some players on their squad, as you know.
Yeah.
And I supported Jackson when everybody was, killing the guy. I'm like, he's African. I'm pro-African. I'll support on my African people. I want him to do well. Score a bunch of goals, just not against Arsenal. And he scored again over the weekend. Love it. Yeah, but I respect the hate. You know, people who grew up in the 80s and 90s and who hated Arsenal, they're not going to love Arsenal now just because you asked them to.
Yeah.
You know? So if you don't want to be the butt of jokes, stop choking.
Okay, fair point.
You know?
Fair point. But looking at the game itself, against Everton, I looked at the lineup, and I'm like, I wouldn't have done some of the things that he did.
Please say more. What would you not have done?
So Merino had no business starting that game.
You just don't like him.
No, I don't like him.
Okay.
Right. So this thing is simple. Everton, with the way they came to play, was obvious. Everton they were not interested in.
No.
It's different from when Forest came. Forest came and they were like, we can get something here. Counter and whatever. Everton were not interested. So as at that point, you could have played Rice as the pivot and played 2 attacking midfielders in front of him, right? Not Merino. You could have started Odegaard along with Nwaneri at the same time against that Everton team. Yeah? You need to go for it at times. It's not every time, that you like, you know what? And I understand you don't want to concede, you want your defense to be solid, blah, 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 right? But even if you didn't start the game that way, half time, you could have realized, oh, so this is how you guys want to roll. Okay, no problem. I'm telling you, you could have changed. Gabriel Jesus, a lot of people are complaining, oh, he's not scoring. I told you, I would have brought him in earlier because you need someone to unlock that block, the blocks that they had.
It's an agent of chaos.
You need someone that is fleet-footed, that can, you know.
What's that guy's name, Inka? Alexis Sanchez.
Alexis Sanchez, You need, so even if he didn't score, you needed that chaos. You could get a penalty, you could get, the way you were playing to Everton's, benefit and the advantage. That's what they wanted you to do, you know. But we've said this 1,000,001 times. This is Arteta's first gig. He's also learning, it's and you see, people evolve based on what he's done, right? I still think he deserves the job he's in right now, right?
I would agree.
I'm not Arteta out at all, because I told you last season Arsenal punched above their weight, but everybody thought that was their base level, and that's where the problem is starting from. That's the main problem right now. I think last season Arsenal punched way above their weight, and they took. Everything fell in line for Arsenal. Do you know how many last-minute game goals that Arsenal scored last season?
That was 2 seasons ago.
Was that 2 seasons ago? No, it was last season.
Bournemouth was 2 seasons ago.
No, it was last season.
Yes, it was 2 seasons ago. Last season was, by December they're done. The league's done. And then go to Dubai, come back, and then...
No. So I'm talking about the game away to Luton, the header by...
Yes, that happened too. That was last season.
Yeah, that was last season.
Bournemouth
the Kai Havertz headers, multiple headers, at home. There were a number of goals that Arsenal scored in the last 5-10 minutes last season.
But at least Arsenal was
this season... you see the Fulham one, supposed to be a clean goal, it was chopped off. So things are not aligning right now. And this for me, looking at the table, is a fair reflection of where all the teams are, frankly. Chelsea might be on a high right now, once again, punching above their weight. Everything is going in line with them and falling in line for them. I get all that. Well, guys should chill out, right? It's not... I don't think this is an Arteta out season. No. So even if you say Arteta out, so who are you going to replace him with?
Okay, so 2 things can be true at the same time.
Yes.
Right? So I think Arteta out is insane.
Yes.
Right? But the counter is, don't say who are you going to replace him with. Because again, Arne Slot, nobody was clamoring for him to replace Klopp.
Okay.
He's coming. You all tell me they're going to win the league. I don't believe it. But you tell me he's going to win the league.
So it's the same thing. So Arteta last season, I can see Arteta last season and his loss this season is almost the same thing. In terms of the way the team was playing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Right? So I get your point in the sense that you can bring in somebody and they can transform, But we've seen United change managers how many times now?
Because it's obvious United don't know how to recruit anything. Clearly. Technical directors, players, managers.
Yeah.
They're just a terrible club right now.
Yeah.
And it happens. Sometimes there's so much malaise. It happens. Clubs go through it. They're going through a rut. And before you know it, you're like perpetually 13th.
Yeah.
Because they have the most money in England. They will continue to throw money at it. I meant organically generated, not given to them by a nation state. So for me, they don't know how to run a club right now. They don't have the right people in the right seats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So put you down for Arteta being the manager to see.
I think it's still fine for now. I've not seen something that he has done that is significantly egregious that I'll say sack him.
Okay, so let me make an attempt because I like him. I like him a lot. One of my favorite captains. I liked him more when he was at Everton. I like that version of Arteta a lot.
Yeah.
But I recognize stubborn people because I'm stubborn. Okay. And it's something throughout my life I've tried to work on. Like, hey, I don't want to be stubborn to my detriment.
Yeah.
I want to be stubborn as in tenacious, as in I don't give up, as in I grind stuff down, and grind stuff out. Not I shut everybody else out and I think mine is the only voice that matters, right? I think that's a major distinction. This thing about when you have an injury or suspension, not trusting the deputy is bad.
But what if that's the deputy?
No. Hear me out. Let me give you a real example.
Okay.
That left side, you've signed like 6 left backs and you only trust one of them. That's on you, bro. So this is what I mean.
Back in they're injured. What do you mean by don't trust?
But let me give you the example. Until very recently, he would not play Zinchenko, right? Until very recently, as in 2 games now, he would not play. He would not start Lewis Kelly.
Yeah.
He still would not start Nwaneri, right? Okay. I mean, we saw this guy. We saw Odegaard be injured from August 31st to end of October.
Yeah.
Nwaneri never started a league game. Not one. You and I would not have bet that the only natural replacement we think, somewhat, to Odegaard will not start a single game. That's stubbornness, Yinka.
But he thinks, so that's so, okay, I get what you're saying, but I think you're seeing it differently. So in his eyes, hierarchy in the Odegaard role is Odegaard, Kai, then Nwaneri.
That's a problem. Because you know why? Because you don't have a 9, because you refuse to sign one. And then your 9 that you signed, that you said was going to be the savior, cannot score.
Now you're going to the bigger problem of the team.
But he's in the middle of all the problems.
You're going to the bigger problem.
But he's in the middle. At 5 years in, that's your team.
So 5 years in,
that's your team.
It's your team, but it's also you saying maybe the team is not complete yet. And hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Go on.
Hear me out. So here's the thing. Yeah, he has clearly made it. He has clearly pointed this out to everybody that, guys, I don't want to buy for buying sake. Okay. Yeah?
Okay.
If I want someone, I want to wait till this person is available. Yeah? Nico Williams, Alexander Isak, all these guys, if you're in a reckless club, they could have put ridiculous amount of money on the table to get them, right? And this guy is saying, you know what? We'll manage the team we have now, right, until we get the person that we want. For me, I think that's where the bigger problem is. This squad, you have good players. You don't have the best squad. You and I have talked about this before. You believe, Arsenal have the best. No, they don't.
No, not in
Liverpool have a way better
EPL,
squad. In EPL, Liverpool have a better squad than Arsenal.
Once you leave Liverpool's first 11, what are you, Jota?
You think I won't take Jota in Arsenal right now?
Yeah, you would.
I won't take Nunes in Arsenal right now.
You wouldn't take Jota over...
I won't take Gakpo in Arsenal right now. You won't take Luis Diaz right now. Okay. I'm telling you people that you will jump at.
But you wouldn't take them, most of them, except Nunes. I rate Nunes. You wouldn't... Nunes and Diaz are like A-level type players who are not in form.
Yeah.
Who are not in A-level form.
Yeah.
But they have that talent. That's not who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Gakpo is a nice player. Jota is a finisher. You don't trust him for 90 minutes, and you don't trust him for 38 games.
Yeah, because he gets injured a lot. I get that.
And it
But
doesn't knit play together. He's a finisher.
Gakpo, Jota, line that up against Jesus, Martinelli, what's his name? Sterling.
Because Jesus Martinelli just decided they don't know how to play ball anymore, especially Jesus for the last year and a half.
But you see where I'm coming from,
I hear what you're
right?
saying.
The only player right now in this Arsenal front line that is bang on form is Bukayo.
Yeah, Odegaard had a pretty good three games when he came back.
But that's what happens, right? If you're off for a while, it will take a while before you mellow. You'll be going like this before you. I pray it doesn't get injured.
Bukayo is on fire.
Bukayo is just on fire. Yeah. So for me, I get people's angst and why they're worried, but I'm like, hey guys, it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And for you to win stuff, things need to align for you anyway.
Okay. We gotta move on, but I'm gonna wrap up the topic on this then. So when you move Kai Havertz from the number 9, where he's not even distinguished, to a right 8, where everyone but you knows he doesn't play well. That's what I have a problem with. There is no one who is a serious, mind in football. Yeah. Who's gonna tell you, oh, that's a great. It doesn't play well there. He didn't play well at the left 8. He certainly didn't play well at right. I mean, he did. When you move Partey to right back, you're just being stubborn and conservative. It doesn't combine with anyone upstairs. It doesn't. He's not a right back. You're doing that because you don't want to lose. And then you remove your only real creative player, if you think about it, all season without Odegaard. All of the central midfield creativity comes from Partey. That's my problem.
I get all that.
Yeah.
I get all that. But not that I'm defending him, but to some extent, Akin, you have Ben White injured.
Yes.
You have Tomiyasu injured. You had, what's his name, Timber injured. That's right back death. You're taking 3 players injured.
I know, but
you have Calafiori injured.
Put someone there who can play the role.
So who can play right back?
So this is what I would do. Lewis Kelly, you got to start with Lewis Kelly.
Right back?
No, on the left.
No, I'm saying right back.
That's what I'm saying. Lewis Kelly on the left, that means Timber on the right.
But Timber was injured for a while.
No, not together. When Timber, they put Timber on the left and then Partey on the right because they wouldn't start the kid.
Okay.
That's my problem.
Okay.
And then Nwaneri, put him at right, whatever 8, whatever of the 8s.
Yeah.
And leave your boy up front. Let him be running around and knocking people down.
So now I'm not in training with them. So we're not in training with them. So there's something they see that we necessarily don't. Maybe we don't.
I hear you. I'm just saying make one change instead of 3. That's all I'm saying. Make one change instead of 3.
I hear that.
All right, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
I'm really not interested in this next topic. Is Chelsea a title contender? No. Do you want to talk about it?
Why do you think they're not a title contender?
Bruh, we're not even halfway through the season. They're not about to win anybody's title.
But is Arsenal a title contender?
Of course.
So why is Arsenal a title contender?
Chelsea's not a real team. Why are we talking about
Why is Chelsea not a real team?
Bruh, oh God. Have you seen their goalkeeper?
Does it matter?
Why are you doing this? So I'm not going to get into this thing where you all pretend that football started yesterday. And I don't have, how old am I? Many, many, many years of prior. They're going to flame out because that's what young teams do. So if you're a Chelsea fan, congratulations. You're not going to come 10th. Enjoy the points you're accumulating in the first third of the season.
Yeah.
You know what comes next? The second third. You know what comes after that? The third. When we talked about this, so the flu season is coming.
We're in the second third already.
Okay.
We're in the second third already.
The flu season is coming. They're still gonna fight each other because that's what they do.
So, Aki, who's a title contender for
City.
you right now? Only City.
No, City.
City. Who else? Who are the people
Arsenal.
in contention? City, Arsenal, and who?
Liverpool. If they don't flame out, Chelsea. If they're lucky, will come third. Chelsea is not about to win anybody's league. This is crazy to me. I stop respecting people when they start talking like this. Like, really? Based on what? Like, one player is going to be excellent For 38 games? That's what we're doing?
Chelsea, they've won 5 in a row.
I don't care.
Your team that is supposed to be contenders, last 5 games, they've won 3, they've drawn 2.
So you're confusing form with quality.
But if the form persists, if things keep
won't.
working in your... Chelsea went into Spurs, as horrible as Spurs are, when your team went into Spurs, you barely beat them a goal by 1-0.
Derbies, bro.
Chelsea went into Spurs and they
conceded 2
smashed
within
them.
what, 18 minutes?
They conceded 2 because Cucurella's boots decided to give way.
No, but what
Right?
if Spurs were a real team, what would have happened?
And Spurs a real team.
No, they would sit back and say, why would I go for a third goal when I can just...
But that's what happened. They didn't go for a third goal. No, they did not.
They were
which
going...
is exactly what happened.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree.
When they scored 2, they were like, these people are there for the taking. They
Yes,
thought it was
that's what I'm
Southampton last...
and they were going for the third goal. That's my point.
That was Southampton. They thought they were there for the taking. Then after Chelsea scored that one, what happened to Spurs? Spurs went back into their shell. Yeah. They went back into the shell. Then when Chelsea equalized, I said, now we need to play again. And the whole team just packed up. But here's it. I get the fact that we are... So this is week... They've played 16 games, which is almost like 40%, 50% of the season.
Almost doesn't count, but go on.
Yeah. Okay. Half of the season-ish. Yeah. I'm impressed with Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hear me out now.
Okay.
I'm impressed with Chelsea. And you give flowers to people when they deserve it. I think they being 4 points ahead of Arsenal at this point, they've played Liverpool away. They've played Arsenal at home. And in both games, they did not look out of sort.
Okay.
So you need to give them that. They played City also at home. City beat them, but that was the first game of the season. Yeah? But all in all, right? They look good. Are they title contenders? I agree with you, it's too early.
Oh, so you say all this to agree? Oh my God. What are we doing?
No. But it's the way you like flushing them down the toilet. That's
nonsense.
What you're doing.
I don't have time for nonsense.
You're
like, what are
flushing
we
them
doing?
down the toilet.
Because we have to be
flush
consistent.
them.
2 seasons ago.
Yes.
I feel like I tell this story every 2 episodes.
Okay.
2 seasons ago at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I told you I watched the preseason game between Everton and Arsenal in Baltimore.
Yes.
What did I tell you? I said Everton were going to get relegated. They came very close.
Yeah.
I said Arsenal were going to win the league. They came very close.
You just said almost doesn't count.
No, I know. Yeah, I was off on both, but nobody was saying either that Arsenal will go from 5th to almost winning, that Everton will go from comfortable to almost getting relegated.
Yeah.
Some things you just know.
Yeah.
Right? So I know. Okay. We got to be intellectually honest.
Yes.
2 seasons ago, you from game 1 to game 38.
Yeah.
What were you saying about Arsenal?
Can I remember?
Pump the brakes.
Yes.
Were you being dishonest then? Or were you trying to avoid, what would you call it, jinxing it?
No.
Okay, so
no.
Same energy, bro.
No. It's still the same energy. All I'm saying is you are flushing Chelsea down the toilet
because I'm not 12 years old.
You're disregarding what they're doing.
Because I've seen this story before.
Forget. Look at the game. Look at how they're playing.
Yes.
They look different.
Yes.
They look better.
Yes.
Chelsea at the beginning of the season they couldn't play out from the back.
Okay.
They could not. Right now, look at Maresca. Look at the way he's put the team together. Even Enzo is playing better.
Yes,
It could be a flash in the pan. I get that. Yeah. But I'm not going to just say, I'm going to discard all this. You guys are rubbish. It's not. No. Give people flowers when you need to give them. They are playing well.
Yes, they are playing
very well.
Yes, they're not going to win the league, but they're playing well. Yinka, what is the difference, right? Why do people say that a young team is not going to win? And why does it matter?
because there's a probability that when the going gets tough, your age will show. Okay. Your inexperience will show.
And it's the difference between acquiring knowledge and having wisdom.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So acquiring knowledge is I have all these facts in my head. I have all this technical ability.
Yes.
And wisdom is to know when to STFU.
Yeah.
You know, and when to say things and when not.
Yeah.
You know, the emotional intelligence, all
Yeah.
of that. So yes, I will say Chelsea have gone from fighting over penalty kicks, not once, not twice, not 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, I can name 4 Chelsea players that have been involved in fighting over penalty kicks. There was clearly a malaise in the club last year.
Yeah.
They flushed out some of the individuals that were involved, including Sterling, right? And now it's harmony. You know, what's his face? Palmer scores, everybody runs to him, everybody celebrates him. He scored 12 straight, maybe now 13 straight penalties. Jack is taking PKs away from Jackson. Jackson is not crying about it.
Yeah.
So Maresca has changed the culture. I will give him that respect.
They were in the same
Right? I'll give him that. Caicedo has gone from looking like he just started playing ball yesterday to being commanding again. I refuse to say anything nice about Enzo because of what he did to France. So I don't care. It's like I don't see him. I don't care what he does.
Fair point.
You know, but for me, there's a lot of things still wrong. Up, you know, at the back and up front, they're not title contending departments, in my opinion.
We're in the same boat then. But based on what we have, based on what we've seen, give Maresca his flowers. He's doing very well. I didn't expect Chelsea to look the way they're looking right now at the beginning of the season. At all.
So let's keep going.
Yes.
So we had 2 managerial sackings in the EPL. Managers O'Neill and Martin were sacked. And that would be Wolves and Southampton.
Yes.
Who also happen to be at 19th and 20th positions. Right? I think Wolves are still 19th.
Yeah.
I don't have to look. I know Southampton at 20th because they have been since probably week 1.
19
and 20th. Yeah. Yep. So fair or cruel?
Okay. O'Neill?
Yeah.
I would say that's a bit cruel. Something is going on in Wolves that I don't understand. Their players have, vented physical fights on the pitch, back-to-back games. Not fighting the opponents, fighting teammates themselves. So it's a bad look for him, but I think something is, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
O'Neill, for me, I thought he was doing great at Wolves. Even at Bournemouth, while he was at Bournemouth, I thought he was doing good, and I liked him. And I thought that he's been disrespected across board by the league. Even like you said, the referees, they look at him and they say, "This is a young coach. We can give him the, we can make the decision go against him, and there won't be repercussions." I kind of sense that. But I like O'Neill as a manager, and given the tools at his disposal in Wolves, I don't expect Wolves. I expect them to be in relegation battle. I'm sorry, that's why they have some good players.
Yeah, they do.
They have Cunha is good.
Cunha
that Lassen boy is good.
Yeah.
Sanabria is good. They have some decent players, but that's it. I don't expect Wolves to be challenging. Yeah. But I think what got him out is this fisticuffs that happened. Yeah. This fighting, Lemina fighting, Ait Nouri fighting. It's a bad look. I don't know what it is. I think it's frustration. I think he's lost control of the dressing room. He'll be fine. Martins, on the other hand, I think he deserves to be fired. You can come up.
Yeah.
And you saw what happened to Burnley, trying to play good football.
Yeah.
Come on, you need to respect the opponents you're playing. Spurs were 4-0 up at halftime yesterday. And it wasn't just the scoreline, it's the way, it's the nature. Guy, if you know you can't play, then at least have some defensive discipline. Try and change. See, people might not like this guy, Sean Dyche. Or you say he's Dyche.
Dyche, yeah.
Son Dyche.
Dyche.
People might not like him, but Dyche knows his powers. That's why he came to the Emirates and he did what? He locked up.
The bus, yeah.
He locked up and he got a point. Southampton, their coach is just immature from a coaching standpoint. You don't do that. So for him, I think it's fair. For O'Neill also, because of what happened, the fact that he lost the dressing room, I also think it's fair. But
Or you like him?
I feel for Neil O'Neill.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a good coach. But Martin Russell, on the other hand, or Russell Martin, whatever his name
Russell
is.
Martin, yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, he should have been fired a long time ago.
Okay. So, with the caveat that, last season is not this season or this season is not last season,
Yeah.
I will continue to say 2 of the best, maybe 5 managers in the EPL last year got relegated, in my opinion.
Yes.
Vincent Kompany, and I forget the name of the Luton coach.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought with the resources they had,
Yeah.
I really thought they did 2 of the better jobs in
Yep.
the EPL last year. I truly believe that. Now, did the Luton coach take them down? Did this stay with them when he went down? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not
I
sure.
hope he's still coaching because I like his bravery. I think he's a real coach. Vincent Kompany is now getting a chance to really show his stuff
Yeah.
with better players,
Yeah.
with world-class and world-class-ish players.
Yeah.
And there's no locker room fisticuffs.
Yep. Nothing.
He's doing what he has to do.
Yep.
They're playing kind of tenacious sometimes, and they're playing a lot of nice, fluid football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I say all that to say I'm not going to miss Russell Martin at all because he's given me some of the most disgusting moments this season.
Yeah.
The trying to play out of the back thing. I'm like, I've seen my daughter's team practice this stuff much better.
Yeah.
You have a goalkeeper who can't keep. I don't know what happened to Ramsdale, but his backup. That's why this guy's getting fired because the backup over the last 3-4 games.
Yeah. Then the backup to the backup. It's
been atrocious.
It's been atrocious.
And
just kick the ball out.
Yes.
Don't be defensively solid.
And don't run out of you. So he can go. I don't care.
Yeah.
Martin O'Neill, I think I'm gonna slightly disagree with you a little bit.
Gary
Sorry, not Martin O'Neill.
Gary.
Let me wipe that thoughts away. Yeah, Gary O'Neill. I think sometimes, the media does this a lot, where you quickly flip from being underrated to being overrated.
Yeah.
The media want to tell us how much this guy is underrated and how great he is.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the evidence of it? Maybe he can coach. I don't know. Do we know? Because I think Wolves don't necessarily have worse players than Brentford.
Yeah.
I really think they don't. And if you had told me to guess or bet at the beginning of the season, how many spaces on the table will be between Brentford and Wolves, I wouldn't have said, I don't know what they are now.
I agree with
10.
you. Yeah.
I wouldn't have said 10 spaces.
Yeah.
I think they're the same team. So for me, I'm like, can Gary O'Neill coach? Are they doing anything on the training pitch? Or is he just walking around with a scowl on his face? I'm like, I don't know. It's British.
Yeah.
And they write nice articles about him. Doesn't mean he can coach. So I'm like, will I miss him? No. He can go. So that's kind of where I'm at. But I don't think it's fair to fire him, to be fair. I think I would have given him through the season. But I'm shocked at where they are. Maybe it's the combination of personalities. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Semedo is still there. I never thought it was the most powerful right back, but he's a
still
Portuguese international.
Yeah.
They're filled with Portuguese internationals. Nuri, like you said, people think it's good.
They have a couple of Brazilians that are quite good at it.
It makes no sense for them to be 19th.
There's something off in that dressing room.
Yeah, it must be.
There's something off in that dressing room.
Lopetegui was there, right?
Yeah.
Is it him? Did he poison the place? I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And this guy that was at Forest was there.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper,
The
Nuno
former
Santos.
goalkeeper. No, they fired him. I thought it was crazy when they fired him because you can't do better than Nuno.
Yeah.
We know Nuno can coach.
There's something wrong with that dressing room.
Yeah, and it may be
the
ownership.
players that they have,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be 19th.
Yeah, and it could also be the homogeneity, right? Everyone is Portuguese speaking. Everyone is Brazilian or Portuguese.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they need to spice it up a little bit.
Like you said, we ain't gonna miss them.
Nope.
Yep.
All right. Switching to La Liga.
Yes.
Do we have a 3-horse race in La Liga?
Bro, I think we do.
Okay, say more.
I think we do. So all of a sudden, Barca lost yesterday. Surprisingly.
Was the second loss in 5 games? Something like that?
You should have reminded me to mock our friend.
It's not too late.
It's not too late. Because he just kind of kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Barca lost yesterday at home to Leganes.
That should not be happening.
That should not be happening. No, I told you last week or 2 weeks ago. It's like between them and Madrid, it's like they're taking turns to say, "I don't want it."
They don't want the title.
league.
Yeah.
And silently, guess who's up top now?
Oh yes, Atletico.
Our friend,
Our friend.
our very very good friend,
Our very rich friend.
Mr. Diego Simeone.
Extremely wealthy.
All of a
Coach
sudden, Barcelona, they've played a game more than both Madrid teams. Barcelona is on 38 points. Atletico is on 38 points. Madrid is on 37 points.
Amazing. So who has the better goals differential? Well, and
Barca
doesn't matter in
has
Spain,
plus
right?
30.
Doesn't matter in Spain. Like in Spain, is head to head.
Barca has plus 30.
Yeah.
Atletico plus 20. Madrid plus 21.
Who's on top? Who they put on top?
It's Barca because they have 38 points plus 30. So that's one of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying what you call it? The tiebreaker is head to head in La Liga.
Yeah. I think it's head to head. It's head to head in La Liga. So right now, Simeone is playing differently. And let me explain.
Please do.
Yesterday, the only goal they scored was scored by Soloth. Tall Norwegian.
Yeah.
And it was a header.
Plodding Norwegian.
So, exactly. So, Simeone is finding ways to win. So, he looked at that game and was like, and Solo, they just put the ball on his head. Right? So, they are having multiple identities right now in terms of how they play. Sometimes they play on the ground with Griezmann, with Correa, with Alvarez, and sometimes they just go big with Soloth. Yeah? And they're quite disciplined defensively. Although they had a brain fart 2 weeks ago, where they were the game that was on when we were recording last time, which they eventually won 4-3. So Barca and Madrid, they need to be careful. Atletico is also doing well in the Champions League. They're also doing well in the Champions League. And look at their squad, Akin. They have a very good squad.
Yeah, we talked about this. Remember, I thought they and who else were the winners of the last transfer window. Yeah,
they have a very good squad. So I'm surprised Simeone is changing his ways, right?
I didn't see that coming.
They're playing good.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the 1-0, although they won 1-0 last time, but they're not the, I don't want to lose team anymore.
Yeah.
They're going for it. So I know it's still early in the season, but looking at what Madrid and Barca are doing, this Jekyll and Hyde situation that they have with them, Atletico might just creak into the walls and take this. So it's a 3-horse race in La Liga.
I would agree, and I'm rooting for Atletico. And I say this as a Barcelona fan. Arsenal are my team, Barcelona are my second team. But in my opinion, you cannot be taken seriously as a league if, like the Bundesliga, one guy wins 9 straight times.
Yeah.
And then they think it's a disaster when they don't win the 10th in a row.
Yeah.
Or La Liga, when was the last time someone other than Barca or Real won the league?
Madrid,
I know, but when was it? 7, 8?
Several years ago.
Yeah, almost. It's not 10, but it's almost 10. We can check.
Yeah,
check. All like the Premier League.
Yeah.
Where one man has won 5 of 6.
Yep.
And 4 in a row.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I mean, what us all friends.
Where's been PSG all along?
So, you got to go to Portugal to find some...
Or Syria.
Or Syria. So...
To find some competition.
So, is the problem that a lack of quality is what leads to competitiveness? I don't know. Because you can say Syria, compared to the past, has less quality. Compared to the other big 5, has less quality. So, in the rebuild of Syria... It's been a little more competitive.
I agree with you.
And then Amorim was, probably, solely responsible
for what happened in Portugal.
breaking the duo, whatever, the
in
double,
Portugal.
In Portugal of Benfica and Porto.
Yeah.
So for me, yes, I always want Barcelona to do well, but in this case, I think I wouldn't mind if Atletico won. just so
to break the jinx a bit.
Yeah, break the monotony. Like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? But the funny thing is, we thought they could have a good season.
Yeah.
Depending
Remember,
on what
we
Alvarez did.
We said they could
Yeah.
have a good season. It's back. I'm shocked and surprised what's going on with them. Right?
It's
You
the kids.
can't be blowing hot and cold.
It's the kids. It's the kids.
You can't be blowing hot and cold.
Yeah,
It's just. I looked at Lamine Yamal yesterday. I'm like, yeah, come on, guy.
He will have games like that. He's still 17.
Well, Rafinha too. Same. Lewandowski. They just didn't show up.
Yeah, that happens.
They just didn't show up. And Madrid went to Rayo. Was it Rayo? Right? And within 15 minutes, they were down 2-0. Then they came back, scored 3 in a row, brother. It was 3-2. Then all of a sudden, they went back into, we won the game. Rayo equalized. So I'm like, does anybody want to win this league? Are you guys, do you understand?
Yeah.
And you look at the Rayo team, the Leganes team, actually, they're not good teams. Well, Rayo have a couple of nice players that I like. There's some black boys on Rayo that are quite good. But they're not, Madrid shouldn't be drawing that game. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate. Nobody wants to take it. Unlike the Serie A, by the way, it is a completely different ball game.
We haven't talked about that.
Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to win. Atlanta is on top right now, but Inter have 2 games in hand also, right? So it's the whole horizon, the top of the table in the Serie A is a mess right now.
I'm rooting for Atlanta.
I
know they're not gonna win it, but I'm rooting for them.
I'm rooting for Atlanta. What's his name? Gaspi.
The old man.
Forgetting the old man. He's doing wonders. Yeah. Lukman is a good player.
Yeah.
Retegi is a good player, but they're not.
No.
Like when you look at Inter, you look at Inter's.
Yeah.
Inter is way stacked.
Yeah.
Atlanta is just.
They're just okay.
It's just an okay team.
They're a Europa League team.
They're just an okay team.
Yeah.
And their main midfielder was sold last year. Cup Miners went to Juve.
Yeah.
And he's not done anything of significance in Juve. We need to talk about your friend, Mota. We need to talk about your friend, Mota. We all thought he was...
Thiago.
He's 28 points. He's 9 points behind Atlanta.
Yeah.
Now.
So was his season at Bologna, his last season at Bologna, was that a flash in the pan? I guess that's something we now have to...
So, I think it's too early, right? Managing Bologna and managing Juventus are 2 completely different things.
That's very true.
And unfortunately for him, he's had a severe injury crisis at the striker position. But I hope he needs to catch up with the pack. And even if you don't win it, be relevant. What Juve will not allow you to be is irrelevant. Once they wave that white flag for you, like Madrid fans, you're gone.
You know, it's funny because before the season started, I don't think we talked about this particularly, but I'm like, it kind of gave me like Vincent Kompany vibes. Yeah. Just in terms of kind of unproven. Bologna is not Burnley. I'm not saying Bologna is Burnley at all, but Bologna should not be in Europe. And if they're in Europe, they should have been in the Champions League.
Exactly.
So but now taking over Juve, which Juve is like Bayern. So that part of it makes sense. So, but I don't know. Because I was fascinated when he was at Bologna, because when he was a player, I didn't see him as a thinker. I don't mean this disrespectfully.
Yep.
But he seemed like a bully to me. It would have been like if Materazzi became a manager. Yeah. I would lose my mind. You know what I mean? Like, or Chiellini. Or if Chiellini became, really? Chiellini is actually great on TV. I was shocked.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He's done some US, some at the Euros. He doesn't live in the US, but he did some stuff.
How good is his English?
It's okay.
Really?
I mean, come on. It's okay, but he does it with a smile on his face. He cracks jokes. It's actually kind of hilarious, and he's positive when he's analyzing players. That was shocking to me. He seemed like a nice guy. Who knew?
That's a complete contrast.
I know.
The bully that we know.
It was shocking. But anyway, So Mota and Kompany kind of gave me like similar vibes. But I don't know. We may have to do a safe or no safe for. Safe or not safe for Thiago.
On Thiago. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. And of course, Bayern Munich, Bundesliga, same. Yeah. Everybody won. Yeah. Nothing to worry about.
It's not going to be an interesting.
It's not going to be an interesting
league this season. So.
And same thing with Ligue 1. It's more or less it's PSG's league already.
We're just gonna stop talking about it.
We just need to we need to stop talking about it. But I'm very worried about Barca, right? I didn't see this crash coming at all.
La Liga gets a break, right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, I think they'll be fine. I really like their manager.
Yeah, I do.
Lewandowski, as long as he doesn't fall off.
Yeah.
I think Rafinha will come back down to earth, but it will be a much better Rafinha than what
it was before.
And that may be all they need. They may not need that Rafinha that they've had. Lamine Yamal will even off, but he will still be fine. And then the two kids who always get injured in the midfield, they'll get some rest. Get some rest.
My point is, you can't. If you're beating Madrid in El Clasico, albeit you and I agree that it was the result flattered them, no problem. But you can't do that and then do this. Real Madrid is in transition, right? This is your chance to really, 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 stick the knife in.
Yes.
And you're here messing about losing at home to Leganes. What nonsense is that?
That's a good point.
What nonsense is that? Because, see, give it to Madrid. Madrid will always find a way to be there. But they themselves, they're messing up. So you shouldn't be the ones doing this. And it's like you're just self-destructing in front of everybody. But I like Atletico, and I'm rooting for them.
I mean, it would be one of the surprises of the season, I think.
Yeah.
Unless Chelsea wins, and then...
Which you said is not going to happen.
I don't think so. All right, Inka, do you have a donkey of the week?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, so no referees that did anything crazy?
I didn't watch as much games.
So that's why. I'm sure they did something crazy.
So I'm sure they did something that got me mad. I actually thought of giving it to Haaland.
Wow.
And I will say this because when Arsenal drew at Etihad, he went to Arteta and said, what?
Stay humble.
How about that? So who deserves the humility right now? 1 in 11, right? So and this is just karma. This is how it happens.
Yeah.
You're telling someone to stay humble where you are the one that deserve the humility. You need to learn. You needed to be humble. Now everything is blowing up in your face.
Now look at you.
Look at you. You've not had. Did you even have any shot on target against City?
Against United? I don't know.
I don't think he did.
Yeah. And does United have good defenders? I mean, they started Maguire.
They didn't. And also, so by the way, I'm crowning him as my donkey of the week. Haaland, don't do that again. Stay humble. But a quick, recognition to that Ivorian young boy at United.
Ahmad, yeah.
That goal, a lot of people look at it and think it's just that was technically executed.
The body control
at the highest level. Yeah. The touch.
Yeah.
Not the shot, not the goal. That first touch was superb.
Yeah.
Superb.
He missed the sitter. He got bailed out because
of the penalty.
It was a free offside. It was offside.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he missed. So it went early when he had there's no reason it should have gone early.
Yeah.
And then he missed
it was one they fouled for the penalty also.
Yes, it was. That was actually a great play on that. It was a bad penalty by whoever gave it up.
Yeah.
But it was and you saw it was Nunes, right?
It was Matthias.
He covered his face immediately.
Yeah, his face.
His
that was
teammates had to go.
Penalty. It was a penalty.
I saw something though. I saw something in the game that I never thought I would see.
Yeah.
Ederson finally came back, right?
Yeah.
Started the game. Ederson was being a leader when his teammate, what's the name of their captain, Walker, Walker flopped, right? They did the whole meet touching heads thing.
With the Danish Haaland.
With Højlund.
Danish Haaland.
Right. And then this guy falls dramatically.
Yeah.
And, captain, what's his name? The former captain, Maguire, was like, And Ederson was the one. I was shocked because I always said he's not vocal. He's not a leader.
Yeah.
It was the one in the scrum, so to speak,
trying
to sort things out. I was like,
anyway.
maybe the benching has done something to him.
Probably. Probably.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting.
Probably. So, Haaland, don't do that again.
He will do.
Yeah, my donkey of the week.
You can't help it.
Can't
All
help
right,
it.
Nika, let's wrap.
Yep.
So we're here in the studio.
Yep.
It's Monday, the 16th of December. We will be back
We'll be back
next Monday,
next Monday.
the
23rd?
23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although
Hopefully
now,
with a guest.
we should talk because we may now be able to do Sunday, but we will talk.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So we may be able to do it, and hopefully with a guest.
Hopefully with a guest.
Definitely with a guest. It's just
is who the guest? You might have 4 chairs.
4 chairs, exactly. And it's been fun. You want to wrap?
It's been fun. Thanks everyone. As usual, please continue to support us. Tell your friends about us across all our social media platforms. Remember, 50th episode, we're still going to do a giveaway that Akin doesn't know about.
You don't tell me anything.
That Akin doesn't know about, but we will announce that. And it'll cut across board. It's not just for our fans in Nigeria. It's going to be wherever you are. Everybody can partake. So, Akin, this was fun. Nice having you in studio, right? And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
And we will see you next week. Goodbye.